The Caitlin Clark impact has touched an entire city in more ways than one. In the same week, it was revealed that the 22-year-old has been catapulted into the top 10 highest-earning female athletes for the year. The WNBA superstar has had a multi-million-dollar impact on the city of Indianapolis. The WNBA has had record-breaking success with the 2024 season, with TV viewership, attendance, and commercial figures all skyrocketing. And on closer analysis, from one financial expert, the local economy has also benefited from what continues to be described as the Caitlin Clark effect. Although 22-year-old Clark's impact has not just been limited to the WNBA but also has provided a boost to the local Indianapolis economy, a number that has reached the tens of millions. Dr. Ryan Brewer is a finance guru who spoke to the Indianapolis Star Network about Clark's financial impact. "The numbers are so staggering," said Brewer, associate professor of finance at Indiana University Columbus. "They don't even seem real. I have her economic impact on the city of Indianapolis at $36 million, and the impact on the WNBA is at least at $40 million. Now, let's take a breath for a minute and think about this. That's for 1 year. We're talking about one player. A number like that makes other experts believe that the Fever should tie Clark down to a contract that is accurately reflective of her worth as soon as possible. It would make a ton of sense for Indianapolis to lock her up long-term at $1 million a year," John Holden, an associate professor of business law and ethics at the Indiana University told IndyStar. While Brewer went on to add that players like Reese and Clark are creating a firestorm of interest in the league and that he expects the record-breaking numbers to stabilize and maintain. Once this happens, he also expects WNBA players' salaries to jump, with a new broadcast deal worth an estimated $200 million a season set to flood the league. Last season, Clark's rookie contract saw her earn just over $76,000 as her annual salary, while she added $11 million in endorsement. Fellow rookie and first overall pick Victor Wembanyama earned $13.8 million for his debut NBA season for the San Antonio Spurs, 184 times more than Clark. Brewer went on to also explain Clark's individual impact on the WNBA. "She is responsible for 26.6% for league-wide activity. I have her attendance adjustment impact at 300%, and revenues along with valuation of the Fever have skyrocketed." As he also claimed that 45% of the broadcast value of WNBA games came from Indian Fever matches. Attention in the college ranks is also shifting to Juju Watkins, the newest college star, who will look to have a record-breaking impact of her own when she eventually enters the league. The 19-year-old has already shattered some of Clark's NCAA records. She became the fastest player to have 15 games with at least 30 points and also the quickest player to score 1,000 career points, doing it in 38 games, 2 fewer than Clark's previous record of 40. The WNBA looks to be in safe hands, with the likes of Watkins building a name for herself and Paige Bueckers expected to be another generational first overall pick in the 2025 draft in April. For now, it's Clark and Reese's world. The Indiana Fever ended their 8-year playoff drought with a memorable season, marking their return to postseason action. Although they were eliminated in the first round by the Connecticut Sun, the record-breaking viewership showcased the undeniable impact of their 2024 number 1 pick Caitlin Clark, whose star power and growing fandom continue to shine. With thousands of those eyes on it now, the Indianapolis franchise now faces a pivotal decision as it prepares to shape its future. With the WNBA expansion draft for the Golden State Valkyries on the horizon, the Fever can protect 6 players from their roster. Today, we delve into the players they might prioritize keeping. It's a no-brainer that Clark will be the top name the Fever prioritizes for the protected list. The Fever number 22 led the team with back-to-back 25-plus point games and broke the record for most three-pointers made in a season. She also shared the title of the Fever's top scorer in the regular season, averaging 19.2 points alongside Kelsey Mitchell. She also claimed the Roddy Award and made it to the All-WNBA first team. Having signed a 4-year rookie contract worth approximately $76,000 annually, the Iowa alum is likely an easy choice for the Fever to secure. Lexie Hull. The 25-year-old guard, a first-round pick in the 2022 draft by the Indianapolis franchise, has shown tremendous growth after a challenging start to her career. While she only started 4 games during her rookie season, her performance in 2024 marked a significant turnaround. She earned a spot in the Fever's starting lineup, replacing Christy Wallace and Grace Berger, and delivered clutch moments, including a standout 22-point game against the Seattle Storm in August. Additionally, her strong chemistry with Caitlin Clark makes her a likely candidate for the Fever's protected list. Aaliyah Boston. Much like Caitlin Clark's rise in 2024, Aaliyah Boston justified her #1 overall selection in the 2023 draft with an exceptional rookie season, earning Rookie of the Year honors. Boston maintained her stellar form even after Clark joined the team, starting all 40 games in 2024 while averaging 14 points and 8.9 rebounds. Known for her dominant post presence, Boston excels in short roll situations, is a standout rebounder, and thrives in the Fever's new up-tempo offensive system. These qualities make her an obvious choice for the Fever's protected list. Kelsey Mitchell. The 28-year-old veteran Kelsey Mitchell presents one of the most intriguing decisions for the Fever's protected list, given the uncertainties surrounding her future. Currently playing abroad in the WCBA, Mitchell has been the franchise's top scorer for 7 consecutive seasons and stands out as the longest-tenured starter on the team. A cornerstone of the Fever, she has consistently led the roster in scoring, with the exception of 2 seasons. Her chemistry with rookie Caitlin Clark in the backcourt has been impressive, making their partnership a valuable asset. With this dynamic duo in mind, protecting Mitchell in the expansion draft seems like a logical priority for the Fever. Lisa Smith. Smith, who joined the Fever in 2022, is one of the few forwards on the roster. While there were moments in the season when her playing time was limited and she spent time on the bench, she still managed to start 37 out of 40 games. Although her season farewell post sparked rumors about her potential departure, and the criticism from the fans has been prominent, the Fever's continued involvement with Smith in their post-season activities suggests they may want to keep her on the team. There is also a possibility of a trade later in the off-season. But for now, she's a part of our team, in Kelly Krauskopf's words. Timmy Fagbinal, at 32 years old, she is one of the league's veterans and one of the few players on the Fever roster in her early 30s. Despite this, she has had a significant impact, particularly coming off the bench. When injuries or lack of form affected other players, she stepped up and even started a few games, making the most of those opportunities to prove her worth. In 2024, she appeared in 22 games and averaged 6.4 points. This was her first season with the team after returning to professional play following a 5-year hiatus. Given her experience, the Indianapolis franchise may be reluctant to part with such a valuable player. Katie Lou Samuelson, Damaris Dantas, Erica Wheeler, Christy Wallace, and Grace Berger are a few names that may not be in protected players list. The Golden State Valkyries will have the option to select just one from this group on Friday. As the Fever gear up for the WNBA expansion draft, their choices will be crucial in shaping the team's future, with a focus on securing key players like Clark, Boston, and Mitchell to build a strong foundation. Sports, culture, and brand building are central to the growth of more than a few famous brands from Gatorade to Nike. Partnerships like Nike and Michael Jordan resulted in Air Jordans. Brands have consistently increased fandom through effective sports partnerships. During the NFL football season, few brands are as well positioned as State Farm, renowned for its tagline, "Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there." But how does a brand synonymous with insurance weave itself into consumer culture? I sat down with Kristen Cook, Chief Marketing Officer of State Farm, to explore her role and how the State Farm brand leverages sports and culture to foster emotional connections, its ongoing investments in women's sports, and its journey with athletes like Caitlin Clark. Building emotional connections, the power of good neighbor. Cook began by emphasizing the centrality of the consumer in everything State Farm does. "Our mission is rooted in understanding and meeting the needs of our customers," she explained. "Whether it's through insurance, financial services, or being there in moments of crisis like hurricanes, we strive to embody the ethos of being a good neighbor." I wrote about turning your brand into a verb in my book The Purpose Advantage, and Cook's point about brand action struck home. This philosophy extends into the brand's marketing strategies, where stories of community and cultural relevance take center stage. Sports play a pivotal role, Cook said. They ignite passions like nothing else and bring families, friends, and communities together, even amid life's noise. Caitlin Clark's presence has consistently been a game changer, and there's a reason Stephen A. Smith dubs her the Golden Goose of the WNBA. Her fame extends beyond the court, drawing audiences wherever she goes. This offseason has shown that the Clark effect isn't limited to basketball, it's making waves across sports, from golf to football. Now, since Clark has joined a group bidding for an NWSL expansion franchise in Cincinnati, even soccer is experiencing her remarkable influence. A few weeks ago, it was revealed that Caitlin Clark, the reigning WNBA Rookie of the Year, joined Cincinnati's ownership group for their NWSL expansion bid. Now, it's clear her involvement has already made a significant impact on their social media presence. As reported by The Athletic, social media posts surged from 10,000 per day to almost 500,000, marking an astonishing 4,900% increase. This spike highlights Caitlin Clark's impressive ability to attract attention. Jeff Birding, a key member of the ownership group, acknowledged that Clark's involvement in the team significantly boosted their visibility. She's very proud to be a part of this effort and she's very competitive. She wants to win and see this happen. She's 100 miles away with her Indianapolis-based WNBA team, and she's going to have a great opportunity to be involved in a meaningful way, Birding said. Cincinnati's proposal stands out as the only one publicly supported by an MLS club, meaning the potential NWSL team would have access to the city's TQL Stadium, which opened just 3 years ago. The plan also includes building a new training facility specifically for the women's team, with the group seeking $5 million in public funds for the development site. The proposed training facility would be located in Hamilton County's suburbs, similar to FC Cincinnati's $30 million Mercy Health Center. The 24-acre site would feature 3 full-size, floodlit soccer fields and a 30,000-square-foot, multi-level building for the team. We will have access to the site and have fields there ready to go for the 2026 season. The construction of the facility would still be underway, but we would use, effectively, a temporary building on site to house the locker room and meeting rooms and medical suite, etc., while the primary building is underway, Birding said. This plan addresses their training facility needs, especially as Cleveland had an advantage in this area with its ongoing developments. Cincinnati's bid to join the NWSL is encountering stiff competition, especially from Cleveland. While Cincinnati benefits from its established TQL Stadium, open in 2021, Cleveland's ownership group is making significant strides. They've acquired a prime 13.6-acre site across from Progressive Field for a $150 million stadium, which will initially seat 12,500 fans, with plans for future expansion to 20,000. Cincinnati has been at the forefront of the bid for the NWSL's 16th expansion spot, but Cleveland's efforts made things difficult for Caitlin Clark's ambitions. The expansion fee for the new NWSL team could approach $100 million, according to several sources, following the $53 million paid by both Boston and Bay FC to join the league in 2023. Despite the uncertainties, the franchise ownership group is excited to have Caitlin Clark on board. The NWSL Cincinnati bid team is thrilled to have Caitlin Clark join our ownership group as we work to bring a professional women's soccer team to our city, the FC Cincinnati organization shared in a statement earlier. And her involvement is already proving beneficial, as shown by a significant boost in their social media engagement. The WNBA expansion draft is Friday, and the Indiana Fever may have to say goodbye to one of their players. Or, maybe they won't. The expansion draft for the Golden State Valkyries will air 6:30 p.m. on ESPN, where the newest franchise in the league will have the chance to pick one player from each team to make up its 2025 roster. But just because the Valkyries have the ability to pick a player from each team doesn't mean they will. There are multiple ways the expansion draft can shake out for the Fever. Golden State can pick one of Indiana's players, or the Fever and Valkyries can work out a pre-expansion draft trade that could give Indiana more autonomy in which player leaves the franchise. Or Golden State won't pick a player from Indiana's roster at all. We'll find out the specifics Friday. Before then, here's what you can expect on how the expansion draft works. How does WNBA expansion draft affect Indiana Fever? Golden State will start constructing its team with the expansion draft, getting up to 13 players from the draft before free agency even begins. In its most basic form, Golden State will be able to pick one unprotected player from each team as well as one unrestricted free agent who has not yet used all of their core years. The Valkyries will then need to use their core designation, a max 1-year salary in exchange for exclusive negotiating rights, on the unrestricted free agent they pick. Players who have already used up their core seasons, including players like Brittany Griner, DeWanna Bonner and Brianna Jones, aren't eligible to be picked, so they don't need to be protected by their teams. Each existing team can protect up to 6 players on their roster, which includes outgoing unrestricted free agents that are eligible to be cored in players they have the rights to but are not currently in the league. Then, Golden State can pick from the unprotected list. Golden State can also opt to negotiate a trade with different teams. They could pick a player from one team and trade them to another team, whether it be for cap space or yet another player, or the Valkyries can negotiate with the team to pick a specific player from their roster. The Valkyries can also opt to not pick a player from a team at all. There are only 12 roster spots on each WNBA team, and Golden State would come out with 13 players if they pick one player from each team and a UFA. With free agency starting in January 2, the Valkyries may not want to fill up their roster that quickly.